You screwed it up.
Batman Arkham Knight is proof that it takes more than improving mechanics and adding a few new mechanics to make a sequel a worthy successor. Now, I do take a great liking to Batman Arkham Knight, and while I do think it is on par with the other 3 Arkham games, I don't think it's better than Arkham City, which is a shame because it could have been. Yes, you heard me right. Batman Arkham Knight could have been my new favorite game of all time. That is no exaggeration. It had a lot of potential, but it's a shame that so much of that potential went untapped. But now is not the time for grieving. It is the time to take action and find out just how good this game could have been, and how it could have been that good. I only have one rule. One entry can't contradict another entry. All 5 of these things could have been included in the game. But otherwise, let's suit up and get this show on the road. Are you worried about me spoiling who the Arkham Knight really is in this entry? Well, don't be, because if you know jack squat about the comics, you'll probably be able to make a good guess who the Arkham Knight is with unfortunate accuracy. Now, I wouldn't put this entry on the list if I didn't have an idea for a better candidate for the Arkham Knight. Personally, I think the Arkham Knight should have been Ra's al Ghul. Coming off the bat of Arkham City, get it, as Batman, he should have been brought back to life with the Lazarus Pit, and realizing that his daughter died, used his limitless resources to create an army and go after Batman. And this could make sense, because after he killed Batman, he could turn on Batman's villains and kill them. And since he was put in a Lazarus Pit when he was young, his body would now be in his early 20s. They could have kept all the other things in there just to throw us off the trail of Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul is the Arkham Knight? Now that's a twist I bet no one would have seen coming. The ironic thing about my love for the Arkham games is that one of my favorite aspects about video games is the boss battles, and that Arkham Knight has some pretty poor bosses. I like the Titan fights and the Mr. Freeze fight from Arkham City, and to be fair, Killer Croc's boss fight in Arkham Asylum is pretty original, but other than that, I found all the other fights to be average at best and awful at worst. Boss fights in Arkham Knight are pretty few and far between, and I guess that's a good thing, because geez Louise, these boss fights are horrible! Not only are the bosses in Arkham Knight bland and leave a bad taste in your mouth, but they're so boring and they play like garbage. Here's a rundown of the required bosses in the game. A fight with a drone helicopter that's hard to hit. Not to mention, it's a drone helicopter. If you want to have me fight drones in the game, that's fine, but when you have a drone be a big boss, that's crossing the line. A big champion botzer guy type that's fun, but cheap and dull. The Arkham Knight's tank, which consists of hitting its weak points and then running like a pansy. Then there's the Arkham Knight's drill thing, which is probably the worst fight in the game. You have to lure the Arkham Knight and his big drill into these tunnels where you have to go fast while driving up walls, while avoiding his instant kill laser, while trying not to let him catch up with you or else he kills you on the spot. I would also like to say luring him into those tunnels means that you have to get unsettlingly close to the drill and let him chase you. Oh, but don't get too far ahead or else you'll lose him and have to do it again. What, he doesn't have sensors or are his eyes broken? Well, his eyes aren't broken because he uses his guns in his next fight, but we'll get to that in a second. So you have to get close to this drill that if you touch, you instantly die. Then you have to drive slowly so he doesn't lose you, all while avoiding his insta-kill laser. Then you have to speed down the tunnel at 150 miles per hour while avoiding obstacles and his cannon. Do you think that's enough crap to deal with? Also, anyone want to explain why the bloody hell this guy's drill has an instant kill laser? And at last we have come to the Arkham Knight himself. And his fight is repetitive, uncreative, bland, tasteless, thin, pitiful, annoying, underwhelming, and it's just plain stupid. The Arkham Knight is skilled with weapons, is wearing armor and electronic equipment that could be hacked, can take a beating, and has fighting skills that rival Batman's for God's sakes. So what interesting and creative way will he have to take this guy down? We just do some Predator stuff and then grapple up to his balcony before avoiding being seen. Batman has some of the greatest rogues gallery of villains that have been severely underused in the other Arkham games, but I'll touch on that in another entry. This game could have incredible bosses if they played better, were more fun, and utilized Batman's amazing gallery of rogues better. I think we could have had some boss fights that were as good as the Mr. Freeze fight.